Europe has been warned, and it is not an empty threat.
One guy that also controls the tempo of the game. And people often go to the killers, and you will go to Rafinha, but don't sleep on Pedri. Do not sleep on. When you have a guy, we had a guy like that. Iniesta was, let's not even talk about him, but Xavi controlled the tempo and the rhythm of the game. Iniesta could accelerate it or slow it a bit more down. Bussi just will pause it, but Xavi was controlling the tempo of the game. When you have a guy now like Gavi, but Pedri, and on top of controlling the tempo of the game, this guy is recovering the ball more than Caicedo, and he's not the same type of player. He does everything. So when you have a guy that can actually control the midfield, again today, he won man of the match.
Under Hansi Flick, Barcelona have built the best midfield in world football, and at the heart of it lie two players who seem born to control the game with ease: Pedri Gonzalez and Frenkie de Jong.
I always say this, and people are really not really surprised when I say it. Frenkie de Jong.
Ooh.
You know, earlier I said to you, I did my debut for Belgium against Netherlands. We played at home, lost 4-0. I only played 45 minutes. I came on at halftime. Bro, that was one of the best performances I've ever noticed live, like with my eyes. But he was everywhere. I think after that game, he had like 155 passes, like 250 touch. Bro, it was like numbers I've never...
Together they form a duo so complete, so perfectly balanced, that they are not just dictating matches, they are suffocating them. Their partnership has become a reminder of the golden days of Xavi and Iniesta, but with a sharper edge, a modern twist that makes them even more terrifying for rivals across the continent.
Mentioning during the Euros that he haven't seen, he never seen a player like that one, not even Iniesta. So I think we need to wait to see if Pedri continues evolving.
Pedri embodies football in its purest expression. Every touch is poetry, every pause a dagger to opponents. He hides the ball as if it belonged only to him, gliding past pressure with deceptive calmness. Before releasing a pass no one else could see, he leads the world in the most decisive, creative actions, total passes. Passes completed in the final third, recoveries high up the pitch, and yet his influence cannot be captured only in numbers. His genius is in the rhythm, in the ability to make the most chaotic moments feel inevitable under his control.
Does Pedri make the starting 11 of any club in the world?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Beside him, Frenkie de Jong has returned to his Ajax prime. Once again, that gliding conductor, capable of breaking lines with one progressive run or slicing open defences with his vision. A 93% passing accuracy, unrivaled ball recoveries, and an intelligence that makes him the balance point of this Barcelona side.
I said it before, for me it doesn't matter which position I play. If it's somewhere in the midfield, I'm happy. I can play as a 6 or as a 8 or 10 or how you want to call it, but for me, somewhere in the midfield is fine.
When Pedri dictates, Frenkie accelerates. When Pedri slows the game, Frenkie drives it forward. Their chemistry is not coincidence, it is evolution.
Yeah, I think in ways, the way they keep the ball was a learning experience. We don't play against that kind of style in England. Not at that level anyway. I thought they were the best I played against in that sense of the game. Some of the play in midfield was really...
The clearest proof came against Newcastle, a masterclass so ruthless it silenced England's physical, footballing pride. Pedri, with 2 dribbles, 3 tackles, 9 duels won and 6 recoveries, turned the final minutes into his own stage, hiding the ball when everyone else was burning under pressure. De Jong, meanwhile, completed 85 of his 86 passes, adding 6 more recoveries, until their combined total of 190 passes outshone the entire Newcastle side, numbers that do not just tell a story of control, but of dominance. So yes, Europe should be trembling. Because Pedri is in his prime, De Jong has returned to his, and together they have become Barcelona's weapon of mass control. If these two stay fit, Barca will not just compete, they will dictate football on every pitch they step onto. This is not nostalgia for Xavi and Iniesta. This is something new, something bigger. The duo that can shut down Europe. The massive leap we are seeing in Barcelona's midfield cannot be explained without Hansi Flick. The German coach has proved himself to be a master at reviving careers, bringing players back to their prime, and even pushing them to levels they had never reached before. We saw it with Robert Lewandowski. From scoring 26 goals in 23-24, Flick turned him into a ruthless predator with 42 goals the following season. We saw it with Rafinha, who was on the verge of leaving after a poor return of just 10 goals and 13 assists, and a sense that he wasn't truly valued.
Me cambió
prácticamente todo. Como he dicho en otras ocasiones en entrevistas que me iba del club antes de empezar la temporada y el míster fue súper importante para mi cambio de pensamiento para que...
With confidence and a new role under Flick, the Brazilian exploded. 34 goals, 25 assists, and performances that put him in the Ballon d'Or conversation. And it didn't stop there. Íñigo Martínez regained form, Jules Koundé became solid again, Alejandro Balde shone, and Lamine Yamal, under Flick's guidance, rose to become the best in the world. Everyone took a leap. Everyone was transformed. But among all those names, there are two players whose lives changed completely with Flick's arrival: Pedri González and Frenkie de Jong. Pedri was always recognised as a generational talent, but injuries kept holding him back. Flick gave him a specific physical plan, improved his preparation and resistance. And the difference is huge. From playing just 35 matches a season, Pedri was able to feature in 59 games last year. On top of that, Flick freed him tactically, giving him the role of a free midfielder in a more vertical and direct system. The result was devastating.
Bueno, creo que en un jugador la confianza es muy importante y Flick lo que te transmite es mucha confianza, te transmite que confía mucho en ti para que puedas hacer lo que sabes y bueno, eso a mí me ha ayudado. También el tema de las lesiones pues es una cosa que ha quedado en el pasado y he tenido esa continuidad y ahora pues como te dije antes, disfrutando. Bueno, hasta el momento sí.
A fresher, sharper, more decisive Pedri, who finally unleashed all his potential without his body breaking down. With Frenkie, the key was absolute trust. Flick gave him freedom, made him central to the system, and pushed him to be more vertical, to step into the box, and to recover his most dominant version. In this setup of quick transitions and high pressing, de Jong became once again that total footballer, who amazed at Ajax, but now with the tactical maturity to be even more influential. The Dutchman stopped being just a piece of the puzzle and became a pillar of Flick's Barcelona. And here lies the most fascinating part. The union of Pedri and Frenkie, now in full flow, is Hansi Flick's masterpiece. A creation that not only restored confidence in two superstars, but built the most feared midfield in world football. Let's dive into the detail. Pedri González under Hansi Flick is delivering football at a scandalous level. The boy from Tegesti looks unstoppable. Combining sublime skill with an engine that never stops running. Despite being Barcelona's brain with the ball, he is also the player who covers the most ground, 385 kilometres in his legs last season, and doing it all with bursts of speed up to 31.4 kilometres per hour. That blend of artistry and sacrifice makes him unique. The playmaker who runs like a warrior. His precision is surgical. Even though he operates in the danger zone of the pitch, always attempting risky passes in the final third, he still completes 89% of them, an outrageous number for someone who takes those chances every time. Add to that his growing output in attack: 6 goals and 8 assists last season, and he has already scored this term, and the picture is complete. Pedri is not only Barcelona's creator, he is also a relentless defender, recovering 254 balls last season. In short, a total footballer. For Flick, that combination is priceless. Pedri interprets the Germans' ideas like no one else. He has the maturity to slow the game down when needed, but also the explosiveness to speed it up in a flash. He leads La Liga in passes completed in the opposition half, proving his influence in every attack. But he is also the player across Europe's top 5 leagues with the most recoveries, 238 last season in all competitions. The balance between construction and destruction makes him indispensable.
The likes of Rafinha, who incidentally has got the most goal contributions, if we're talking goals and assists, of any player in the Champions League. Lewandowski is the top scorer in La Liga, of course. You've gone with neither of those players.
I have went with Pedri.
Right.
And if you watch Barcelona, which I do a lot, I watch Barcelona every single game, and Pedri for me, there is something about Pedri that I love to watch him play. And I'm a Madrid fan. He's one of my favourite players. He is so important. And if you take Pedri out of this team, Barcelona, Rafinha, Lewa would not be as good as this guy.
Flick has given him a role of absolute responsibility. Pedri is now the director of play, the leader of the midfield, tasked with being the bridge between defence and attack. He dictates the tempo, chooses when to pause and when to accelerate, and makes those killer medium-range passes that slice defences open. He positions himself just behind the rival's first line, invisible yet decisive, generating superiority for his team. And while orchestrating the attack, he still works tirelessly in defence, pressing and recovering balls to maintain Barcelona's aggressive style. Pedri has become more than just a creative midfielder. He is the metronome, the heartbeat the General Flick relies on. And all of this is possible because of his extraordinary technical attributes. Pedri Gonzalez's rise has been shaped by trust and responsibility. Promoted from the B team and consolidated by Ronald Koeman, his influence grew even more under Xavi Hernandez, who pushed him higher up the pitch to link with Lionel Messi. That partnership became a foundation for the Barca attack, and now, under Hansi Flick, Pedri has multiplied those micro-societies. He combines with everyone: Rafinha, Lewandowski, Yamal, Fermin, Ferran, De Jong, turning every move into harmony. But if one partnership stands out, it is the one with Robert Lewandowski. There is no bigger talent in world football than Pedri. That's why we must protect him. He makes the difference. That's what we asked of him. And he's delivering. He is a superlative player, said Xavi when he handed Pedri the keys of the team. Now, Flick has doubled down. Pedri is the most decisive figure in Barca's 11. At just 22 years old, Pedri is already the best midfielder in the world. His courage is not reckless, but rather a reflection of a rare maturity, paired with an innate reading of the game. Every touch improves the play. He facilitates, he enhances teammates. He transforms difficult possessions into controlled attacks. His elegance with the ball, the way he shields it with subtle movements, and uses his head-up awareness, disarms defenders and dictates tempo. These technical flashes are not just show their tools to destabilise rivals and give Barca dominance. Pedri moves across the pitch like a ghost, undetectable, popping up in different zones with tactical freedom that makes him impossible to mark. He loves to drift inside, play quick 1-2s, and advance diagonally. His passing between lines breaks defences, while his positioning behind the first or second pressing block turns him into the hidden conductor of Barca's orchestra. Under pressure, he spins out of traps with his trademark gyro, changes play with laser precision, and creates new angles for teammates. His technical arsenal is vast: short dribbles, bursts of acceleration, tight control with both feet. Though naturally right-footed, his left is polished enough to beat markers on either side. He commands Barca's positional attacks, dictating short, medium, and long passes to set up the final action. Yet Pedri is a luxury player defensively. He runs, he presses, he recovers. He sprints back on transitions, closes passing lanes, and applies pressure immediately after losing the ball. Whether directly harassing the opponent or covering teammates, he ensures Barca's pressing system remains intact. These qualities have forged key relationships on the pitch. With Messi, he was the perfect facilitator, feeding the Argentine and acting as the bridge between midfield and attack. With Lewandowski, the dynamic is more fluid. Sometimes Pedri is the creator, sometimes the Polish striker drops to open spaces for Pedri to attack. With Rafinha, Ferran, or Fermin, he adapts seamlessly. Yet two partners give him the freedom Flick demands: Gavi and Frenkie de Jong. Gavi brings intensity and fight. De Jong ensures progression and composure. And together they form a triangle that relieves Pedri of heavy defensive loads. In return, Pedri becomes the anchor, the launchpad of Barca's play, and the silent brain behind almost every attacking sequence. Since arriving at Barca, he's been dazzling, especially with the presence of Hansi Flick, who has nailed the idea of finding his ideal position and has followed the theory that it's better for him not to rotate in order to be at 100% physical. Pedri is the outfield player with the most minutes this season, with 441, meaning he's second only to Joan Garcia, who has played the entire season. Last season, he was surpassed only by Rafinha, with the Brazilians' 4,661 minutes to the Tenerife natives' 4,646. This Barca cannot be imagined without Pedri, just as it is with the Spanish national team. The Tegueste native is shining brightly, and his own teammates see him as a clear candidate for the Ballon d'Or. Frenkie de Jong has become one of Hansi Flick's most trusted lieutenants, a player the German coach regards as indispensable for his system. For Flick, the Dutch midfielder is not just another piece of the puzzle, he is the metronome, the tempo setter, the brain that ensures Barca's game flows with rhythm and direction. After years of criticism about inconsistency and failing to live up to the weight of his transfer fee, de Jong finally silenced doubts during the first months of 2025. Freed from his recurring ankle problems, he stepped forward and became one of Flick's most reliable extensions on the pitch, recovering the version that once made Europe fall in love with him at Ajax. That recovery was not easy. The serious ankle injury at the end of the 2023/24 forced him out of the Euros and left Barca short of natural pivots. Pushing Marc Casado into the spotlight. When Casado himself suffered a devastating cruciate ligament injury, Barca's midfield seemed to be on the edge of collapse. But Flick put his full trust in de Jong, and the Dutchman responded with performances that left no doubt. The number 21 was back, and stronger than ever. Against Casado's rise, Frenkie proved once again that he is untouchable when fit, winning back the starting role and cementing his place as a pillar in Flick's lineup. The numbers confirm what the eyes already tell. With de Jong on the pitch, Barca's football improves on every front. Offensively, expected goals and shots on target climb. Touches in the opponent's box increase, and the team generates more danger in sustained possession. Defensively, the Dutchman's presence is just as impactful. Opponents find fewer clear shots on goal, expected goals against drops, and passes allowed per defensive action shrink, showing a Barca far more aggressive in winning the ball back. Even the raw possession stats reveal the effect of Frenkie's playmaking. Barca's possession rises by more than 4% when he is on the pitch, and their passing accuracy, especially in the final third, becomes more consistent. The one trade-off, slightly less verticality, a facet Flick knows still needs adjustment. Tactically, Flick has polished de Jong's best attributes and given him freedom within structure. He uses him not only as a pivot, but also as an interior, encouraging him to drive forward, carry the ball through pressure and reach the edge of the box. His ball carrying is a weapon to break lines. His calmness under pressure ensures Barca never loses its identity, and his vision allows him to dictate attacks with precision. In Flick's high-pressing, fast transition Barca, de Jong has become the engine, blending recovery with creativity and efficiency with elegance. In short, Frenkie de Jong has regained his status as a total midfielder. He interprets the game with intelligence, connects defence and attack with smoothness, and embodies Flick's idea of intensity and order. The Dutchman is no longer the promise weighed down by expectations under Flick. He is the living proof that trust, structure, and tactical clarity can revive careers and elevate them to their true prime. Frenkie de Jong's technical depth is what makes him one of the most complete midfielders in Europe. He can protect, carry and progress the ball under pressure, capable of playing precise, one-touch combinations or driving forward with multiple touches to break defensive lines. His influence spans every phase of the game, from building out from the back, to dictating tempo in midfield, to arriving in the final third to finish moves. It is this versatility that allows Barca under Flick to morph seamlessly between control and aggression. His style often evokes Luka Modric, with the same elegance in dictating rhythm, but deployed from a deeper base. At the same time, his line-breaking passes echo Sergio Busquets, especially in their timing. He draws rivals in before releasing into the newly created space. That ability to manipulate opponents makes him not just a passer, but a conductor of pressure. Flick has weaponized this in his vertical model, where de Jong's calmness and press resistance trigger Barca's fast advances into attacking zones. Out of possession, de Jong has grown into a more complete player under Flick. His positioning to shield the centre-backs has been key, providing balance while Cubarsí and Ronald Araujo step out to press. In this sense, he has become the perfect complement to Pedri, allowing the Canary Islander to press higher and recover balls, while he ensures stability behind. Together they form what may be the most balanced and effective double pivot in world football. Numbers back up this evolution. De Jong contributed 2 goals and 2 assists last season in the run-in, but his impact cannot be measured in stats alone. His recoveries, interceptions and defensive cover have given Barca a new level of solidity, while his smooth distribution keeps the rhythm flowing. With Pedri, the understanding has become natural. One drops, the other advances, and both are capable of dictating play or recovering possession. When joined by Olmo, Fermin or Gavi, the midfield triangle becomes a relentless engine of control and creativity. De Jong is the ideal partner for Pedri because he offers calmness and structural responsibility, while Pedri injects imagination and unpredictability. Their profiles are not overlapping but complementary. Two brains working in harmony, ensuring Barca can suffocate opponents with possession while remaining secure defensively. Both press, both recover, both create. Pedri excels in defensive recoveries, De Jong in progressive distribution. Together they provide balance, intelligence and technical mastery across every zone of the pitch. With Flick as the architect, the combination of Pedri's artistry and De Jong's composure has created a midfield so potent that it feels inevitable. Barcelona, once fragile in the middle, now boasts the most terrifying engine room in world football. Barcelona's trip to St James Park left no doubts. Europe has a new midfield to fear. Pedri and Frenkie de Jong controlled every second, making a Premier League side look powerless. Their chemistry, their calm under pressure, and their dominance in both defence and attack drew comparisons with Xavi and Iniesta. Scholes, Henry, Grealish legends and rivals alike could only admire them. Pedri's magic touch and De Jong's flawless control created numbers that spoke louder than words. 190 passes between them, almost the same as the whole Newcastle squad. This was not just a good game, it was a statement. The new Barca midfield isn't about potential anymore, it's about reality. With Flick giving them freedom and structure, Pedri and Frenkie have become the most terrifying duo in Europe. The message is clear. If these two are on the pitch, Barcelona will dictate the game, no matter the rival, no matter the stadium. Europe has been warned.